Appreciate you guys all coming. Proud of our guys. I thought they played really hard. Thought in the first half, we, as I told the guys at halftime, statistically dominated, but just weren't able to put all the points on the board we probably would like to. I thought our guys didn't panic, found a way to fight it down the stretch, found a way to win it in the fourth quarter. Happy for Connor Martin that he took advantage of his opportunity to make one more kick. Proud of a lot of guys, stepped up for us that hadn't played a ton. And all I told our team was, while I want to win, I want to see a team that fights. And I could tell all week that this team was going to come out and fight today. And there's no better team to do that against than Kansas State, who's big and physical and tough. And, we knew it was going to take all we had. And so we found a way to get it done. So I'm happy for our guys. And I'll see what questions you guys have.
Coach, so you started out 2 weeks ago against Kansas with 13 penalties for more than 100 yards. Against Oklahoma last week, y'all had 9 for 75, and then today you had 2 for 10. Can you comment on that dramatic decrease and what y'all focused on in practice this week, as well as how that affects the team, moving forward while they're playing?
Yeah, well, penalties are obviously they get you they get you out of whack, they get you off the chains, and I think the other thing is when you're trying to play aggressively the way we'd like to play and you start getting penalties, you start to slow down and temper. So that was key. As I said on Monday, I think we're in the press conference. I think we're a disciplined team. I think we're playing the way everyone else is. Some things maybe have gone against us, and I think our kids have been playing really, really hard and maybe pressing sometimes and getting their hands outside and playing, maybe a little too aggressively. But today, I thought, we had 1 or 2 false starts, I think it was, but thought we played within ourselves. And so it's I'd like to say it's us, but I think it's just our players, just getting a little bit more confident. And I thought that was an excellent crew, and I thought they communicated well. And, the guys, both players on both teams had a chance to go out and play today and just play the game. And so that was a big key for us.
Along those lines, you kind of did what they like to do, people. You won the turnover margin and had fewer penalties. How big was that, obviously?
Well, it was great to finally, get some turnovers, and that was the difference in the game to me. Coming out of the half and knocking that ball loose, and McVay. I mean, this is a game of storylines to me of young guys going out there and playing. I mean, Jared McVay's our 5th safety, and Verkedrick is down, and some guys get tired, and Jaren's out there and he picks off a pass, and then Kalen Barnes gets his first start and makes some big plays down the field, and Raleigh played great. Christian Morgan, a true freshman. Not many true freshmen have started at safety for Phil Snow, and Christian gets his first start. So I thought a lot of those guys stepped up, and getting the turnovers out was great. We had 2 turnovers, as I said. The halfback pass we threw was I called that. It was ridiculous that I did that, and it was pretty cool though. Our defense went out there and they were almost excited, yelling at me, "We got you, coach. Don't worry about it." And that was really the story to me today. Was while a bunch of young guys like Squirrel and all those guys stepped up, a bunch of the vets led by example. Yeah, I did, and that went back and forth through my mind. But I just think it's my job to believe in our players, and it's my job to make the sound football decision. And I think the biggest thing is Connor came in here at halftime, and obviously he was a little bit, he wasn't happy. And but to me, it's all about the way he approaches, the way he walks out there, the way he goes to kick it, the way he swings the way through it. And so I saw that starting to come. Part of it to me was we put him in some tough positions. We were kicking some, 45 and 50 yarders. And what I was trying to do was show him, bro, you're my guy. I'm sticking with you until you get this all figured out. And so at the end, I just looked over, I saw his body language, he was ready to go kick the ball and win the game. As I said to Ira and them, hey, if he misses it, then we get to play more football. We get to play overtime. And we love playing the game. So I had confidence he'd make it. I had confidence we'd protect for him. And but the credit all goes to him. He stepped up and made the kick. And it just seemed poetic to me and right. When you have that kind of a day, I don't know. I said to the team, it sounds like maybe a movie, right? But you deserve the right to go out there and take that last kick. And Connor's done a lot of stuff for us. And he's made a lot of big kicks, but none probably bigger than that one. Well, I think, in college football today, probably, Squirrel, we thought about playing Squirrel last week, and they kind of got dinged up a little bit. And, we came, on Wednesday, we thought maybe we'd have Lovett, and then he ended up being ruled out. And then Jamichael got ruled out in the first half for the rest of the half. And, so we're sitting there with just Tristan, and he's dog tired, because we had 53 plays in the first half. And so we turned to Squirrel, and it's great when you see young guys step up and just be ready for their opportunity. Like, because we had all those sort of injuries, we had to then start putting guys on special teams. So B.J. Hanspart, who's in the middle of a redshirt year, who didn't even go to the hotel last night, Fran's like, hey, you're on the punt return team, B.J., and he's like, got it. And he goes out and he plays the rest of the game on special teams. So, number one, it's a great rule. And number two, I just think it speaks a lot to the character of those guys that they were willing to go out there and play and fight. And but I think the credit goes to our older guys. I mean, our older guys, their demeanor on the sidelines was one of, on offense, just those guys were like, hey, scored, let's go score again. And that last drive, I don't know how long it took, maybe 5 minutes or so. So that was the fun part about it was, we were spread out, but we were able to kind of, take some time off the clock and not give their defense a chance their offense a chance to go back out there.
Coach, after all the celebration, you actually tracked down Squirrel in the middle of the crowd. What was that exchange between you two, and what was it like for you to see him make that play?
Well, I probably found a bunch of I found a bunch of those guys. But as I said to him, I said, I told you, I told you I was going to put you in the game today, because I've been telling him that, and I don't do it ever. And so but I told him, I said, I'm going to put you in the game. And it's funny. Coach DeLeon came back to us this week. He's been out. He's been not one, and he was part of the recruiting of Squirrel. And I remember him saying to me one time, he said, if you give him 10 carries, he's going to bust one. And we gave him 2, and he busted one. So, but I was just proud of Squirrel. Went out there. He used it one of his 4 games in the red shirt for 2 plays, but he did it for the team, and who knows, maybe he won't redshirt now. But I was just happy for him. But I was happy for a lot of guys. A lot of the guys that hung in there and made plays today and fought. And it wasn't perfect, obviously, but it was a good team win.
Talk about Tristan and what he was able to do. Like you said, Lovett's out, Mike was out after that first series.
Yeah, I thought the best thing about Tristan was he had some physical runs. He had some runs where he ran through contact and he fought for first downs, and he had to be the guy in there and blitz pick up every play. So, he stepped up. His number was called, and Tristan stepped up and made plays. And, that's what we needed. And we needed that on that second-to-last touchdown drive where we kept kind of handing him the ball, and he kept, popping some runs and keeping us on schedule because, we have pretty good wideouts and quarterback's pretty accurate. So when we can run the ball and keep people off balance, it changes things. And he was running hard. Yeah, I think the story of the game was we couldn't put the ball in the end zone in the first half. Had we been able to, it would have been a much different game. And so I thought there was some poetic justice kicking a field goal to win the game. And I thought Charlie had poise. I thought we weren't always able to protect him. That's sort of been one of our Achilles' heels. But I thought he made a lot of big throws. And I think he had 1 interception today, right? Rebounded from that, and made some pressure throws. All-out blitz. He hit Jalen on a slant. He hit Mims on a slant, and I thought those guys stepped up and made some big plays for us. They were tired, but they were fighting.
How good was Denzel's catch?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It's just kind of funny how things work. That's not even a play we really had in this week. We were kind of working some of the things in the middle of the field, and it was open. So they started going to defend those, and we just kind of called it on the run. And Mims was ready, and Charlie was ready, and it was an unbelievable catch, and got his feet down. And but he practiced that way all week. I think he came back from the Oklahoma game, and while he had a lot of yards, I think Denzel felt like he left a lot of things out there. And I know he wants to become a complete receiver. And you can have a lot of yards and you can do a lot of things, but you can't not always a complete player. And he's trying to become a complete player. And that was to me was as big a play as I've seen.
Matt, what was Michael's issue?
He has a history of migraines, so he's got that kind of an issue. So because he was having migraines, anytime it's like that, they have to make sure it's a migraine and not a concussion. So I think they were waiting to see how he was going to be, and then I guess the doctor said once it settled down, it wasn't a concussion, so he was good.
Matt, did the slants open up the runner and run create those?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a combination of everything. We were kind of spreading them out, trying to hit that over route, and then if they started playing the run, and then taking advantage of the run, and then they playing man, trying to get the ball outside to our outside receivers. So I thought it was just really a combination of and some of the naked game really helped us this week. So we were able to get on some nakeds and make some. So, they were similar to last week. They really aren't giving us a ton of big plays, explosive plays. So we were, having to kind of take what they were giving us, and that was good to see that executed. I thought it was good to see like our downhill physical run game. Hurd broke that one long run, and I told him, it's been a while since he played tailback. He probably a couple years ago he kept running and stiff arm the guy and scored. So, but it was good to see all those different facets of the game kind of all come together.
A couple more.
Well, Smoke, the only thing I told our guys is, you can't fight to get it. You can't fight to get it. You work so hard, and those players work so hard that a lot of times when you win, it's like, you win the first game of the year and it's 55-27, you kind of walk off, and like today they had a chance to experience joy, at the end of the game, just like that feeling of like, we did it, and so I told them to enjoy that feeling, and so I think to me, before the game, I asked them, I said, what are we here to do today? And a couple guys said, we're here to win. I said, no, we're here to go beat another team. There's a big difference. Sometimes you can slop your way to a win. I want a team that wants to go out and wants to play well and beat the other team. And that's a hard team to beat, because they don't beat themselves. And they're physical and they fight back. And I thought we had a team that, instead of being upset that we were down at the end, wanted to go keep playing and find a way to go win the game. Don't let them lose it. Let's go try to win it. And it was that demeanor on the sideline that I really, really, really appreciate. Even when there was 1 second left, it's like, a couple weeks ago, I think a lot of our guys would have been like, oh, here we go. But it was like, let's just keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. And, we did. And we hustled and we found a way to, hit the quarterback on the last play of the game.
Coach, you talked about the process of building Baylor back up to where you want it to be at a championship level. This is your first Big 12 win against a team not Kansas in the Big 12. Do you see that as a significant building block for your team, especially on the comeback fashion that you did it in?
No. I think the comeback's important. I wouldn't want to demean anybody else by saying that this is bigger than that. I mean, none of this is ever really about me. You know what I'm saying? This is all about our players. I mean, they worked hard this week, and it's funny. It's like there was a lot of like outside stuff going on this week. And probably a lot of people saying how the guy's going to show up. Well, I think everyone that was at the game today found out about our team. And we're not a perfect team, and we're a team. We're building it, and they're building it, and we're a team in transition, and we're working. But that team has heart, and that team competed, and I was proud of them for that. So everything to me is just today's today, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and start watching Texas, and I might even start tonight. And so it was just a great week of work, a great week of guys stepping up, a great team win. And, you sit there and you gave up some points at the end, but in the second quarter, the way the defense played, we turned the ball over. They stop them, all the sacks, and all those things. So I'm just proud of that. And even if we would have lost that game, that wouldn't have I would have been upset. But I still would have known that, hey, we're building a team that's fighting. So I'm just happy that they got a chance to enjoy it. I'll turn the tape on when I get home, and I'll be upset about things anyway, right? So I'm just happy for our players that they had that chance to go win it. And like I said, we played. No.
Last one. You fought for Charlie. You fought with the conference. You fought with a lot of things this week. Do you think your players today fought for you?
I don't think they fought. I don't think they're fighting. I think they've been like. I really believe this that our players believe in what we're doing because it's what we're doing. It's not what I'm doing. It's what we're doing. And like I said, this is never, ever, ever about me. It's all about them, about them, about them. And I think in our building, Smoke, our young players really respect our older players. And I think they see guys, the older guys, out there every day, and they want to win for them. So I've been coaching for 19 years. I'll coach for 25 more. I'll be like one of those guys who they have to push out the door somewhere, right? Like I'll be coaching high school football if I can. Sorry, Julie, but I'll be coaching Pop Warner. So I'm gonna coach forever. And I've had all kinds of moments like this and exciting games like this. A lot of our players, this was like they're seniors and they have 6 games left, right? 7 games left, and so this is all about them. I was happy for them, and I told I was gonna make sure I make this point. I had one of my former players from Temple, who's this big movie producer now, movie director, video director out in L.A., and he came into town and asked me if he could come to the game today, and he's like one of my favorite players. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around, and he was just like, at the end of the game, he was like, this is living. I mean, here he is. He's out in Hollywood making movies, making things. And like to be in that locker room and watch those guys celebrate with each other, watch people of all races and ages and places and backgrounds all celebrate together was awesome. And I'll just say this. I'm so grateful to Mac and Dr. Livingstone that this was a breast cancer, awareness day. A bunch of our players warmed up. You see that all across the country. There's nothing that affects our players probably more than that. And we have several players whose mothers right now are battling various forms of cancer, right? And, I saw a bunch of our players, they know me like, you have to wear the stuff I give you. And they all texted me, can we please wear Monique Atkinson's shirt as she's going through what she's going through, and she's tough. And absolutely. And my mom, who's a survivor, and Julie's mom, who battled and fought, was a survivor for many, many years. And so, just that, those are the stories to me. Guys, I'm happy as could be. And we got a good team that's fighting their tails off. They ain't fighting for me. They're fighting for themselves. And as I told them, I'm going to show up on Monday, and I'm going to be yelling and screaming about this play and that play, and we'll get started and go see if we can beat UT next week.